up, people? It's your boss man back again with another video. It's been a while since we've done a match preview, but I'm joined by my brother Was. How are you, Was?
I'm good, thank you.
And we are joined after a long time by Kishan, who is, of course, our resident Spurs fan. How are you, Kish?
I'm very, very good. A lot better than what I was 3 months ago. Put it that way.
Okay, that's good to hear. That's good to hear. As always, feel free to show the boys love. Their links will be in the description. Was doesn't have social media really, so just show me and Kishan love it. So good.
Yeah, just mainly me. That'd be great. Thanks.
Yeah, it's great. I'll make sure I won't put it in there. As always, drop a like and subscribe. Anyways, let's get into the video because there is a lot to discuss. Kish, we'll start with your team as you are the guest. You know, Jose Mourinho has spoken out. I feel like he's taking a little shot at Oli with the comment regarding Kane, where he said, player can come back and go straight back into the team after 6 months because, of course, Ali said that Pogba's on the bench. We'll touch upon Pogba shortly. But regardless of that, what are your thoughts with Jose and your chances in this game?
It's weird because as the days have gone by and as we've got closer to the game, my confidence has increased.
Okay.
Which beforehand, as we mentioned this on the radio show a couple of days ago, that if you told me 3 months ago that we were going to play you with the squad that we had and the players fit, no chance. I would have literally said to you that if we lose by a goal, I'd be happy because of goal difference. Literally, that's how bad it got.
Yeah, that's how bad your team was.
Whereas now, I would be disappointed if we don't at least get something from the game, because you've got to think, yeah, fair enough in terms of home and away fixtures. It doesn't really matter because there's no fans. So I don't really see that being much of a difference. I think in terms of players, he's already mentioned today in his press conference that, again, I don't know why he's done this, which has annoyed me, but he's already said that Son, Kane and Sissoko are going to start. And for me, those three players themselves are very, very important. We've not had Sissoko in our team since I think it was the fourth or fifth game that Mourinho was managing.
Sissoko's been missing for a while, hasn't he?
He is huge for us because we've already had, we know the qualities of Ndombele, but in terms of tracking back and his work ethic, it's non-existent. He just does not track back. And whereas Sissoko is that engine in our team, he's a bit like Fred in a way for you guys, where he's probably not the best on the ball, but in terms of tracking back and being that sort of
Kish, are you going to do the whole video on your own?
Yeah, no, sorry, he's great, but yeah, no. In terms of Son and Kane for me is, I can't wait just to have him back in our first team.
You answered literally all of my questions I had prepared in the space of 3 minutes.
Right.
Was will come to you. Before Kishan goes on another one. So what your thoughts are going to the game? Your initial sort of, obviously Kishan said that as the days have gotten closer to the game, he's feeling more confident, which I probably understand given. Like you mentioned, Kane, Son, etc. being back. So that's definitely a boost for them. What are your initial thoughts going to the game?
Well, in the start, I've been watching a few training sessions. We've had a few friendlies here and there against West Brom and amongst each other kind of thing. And I don't know much about Tottenham or what they're feeling like, but I think we're going into the game. I'm quite confident that we're going to win this, and convincingly as well. Because I know I'm probably the only one, but
I don't think I've spoken to a lot of United fans sharing that same belief.
I'm really confident. I don't care about Kane because I'll tell you why. Because if it's like when we talk about his form in August when he comes, start the season, he's normally not firing. So we're going to treat it as another August for him. Plus he's come back from an injury, so he's going to take a couple of games to get back into the groove of things. He's not match fit. He might be fit, but he's not match fit. Same probably goes for Pogba, I suppose, in that sense. But like I said, we've got Bruno. We've got more of a momentum. I think we've got more momentum.
Yeah,
but
the momentum's gone. Was, let's be honest, and like you saw.
I think it's still there. The positivity.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I agree with what you're saying in terms of obviously Kane side, what you've mentioned there, but the momentum that doesn't exist for me anymore because look at Man City yesterday against Arsenal, and you saw it in the first game for Dortmund as well. When they played their first game after the return, the first 25-30 minutes of the game, they were dreadful. Man City, where they were so slow. Even De Bruyne looked poor. De Bruyne looked terrible in the first 25 minutes. He looked slow. He looked off the pace. Arsenal capitalised on that. and there's an opportunity that Spurs can capitalize on that if they're a more well prepared and organized team. Whereas Jose Mourinho is known for that.
I don't think United are going to be like that. I actually think United could be, really fit compared to Tottenham or other teams, even compared to Man City. The way they've been training, and you can see the sharpness. You can just see they're finishing. They look clinical and they look hungry.
You say that, but Arsenal look good in training videos.
Obviously, it's speculation, and until we actually see the game. So, for my feeling is, I'm confident we're gonna win 3-1, and it's gonna be lightweight.
Can we just answer the question I asked me? I didn't ask for score prediction just yet. What is with you two? Can we just get to that bit when we ask for it? Like, I'll ask for the score prediction and all that stuff later. Why are you guys giving me everything now? Right, okay, Kish, he's mentioned Kane, right? Obviously, regarding, Kane notoriously has that patch in August that he doesn't fire. Potentially this could be one of those sort of moments for him in terms of, he's had a massive layoff. He's like what I said, he is going to be fit, but he's not much fit. And we've seen in the past when he's not got that match fitness that he's just not the same Kane when he is after 2 to 3 games. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he's always going to have that lingering, and I suppose that's up to him to prove himself. I think the one thing for me personally about Kane that I'm pleased with is the fact that this is probably the first time in a long, long time that he's actually had some rest. Because if you look at it, the last couple of seasons were pre-season. We've either had the Euros, the World Cup, or one thing or another that's happened with him. So he's never really had that full break. So by the time it's come to August time, September, he's literally still been running on empty. So in my opinion, I think this is the first time where he's actually had time to reassess. And for me personally, that can only be a positive. But again, I don't want it to be the case where with Tottenham it's all about Kane, because it really isn't. I think players like Son and Lucas Moura have proved that even when he was injured, if you remember when he was injured, it was Son that took the mantelpiece.
Yeah, Son was
and
fantastic.
Even Lucas Moura. And in the past, Lucas Moura has hurt United. You can't.
Yeah. So was it last season when he scored that goal when he completely dusted us?
Yeah, exactly. So again, it's one of those where for me, with this game, I think United needs to be careful, because if you just focus a lot on Kane, which is easy to do, you will miss out on the other players that are part of that team. And I think that's where, you need to be careful. And going back to Wasser's point as well about momentum and stuff, I agree with you, Osman, that there's no such, you can't comprehend momentum, because even if there is momentum, there's no fans to show that. It's literally, it's you against the opposition. There is no fans. There's nothing there. And I don't know if you watched that game yesterday on without the fact, because there's Sky Sports main event where you can have it.
Yeah.
Without it literally looks like a
dead.
Yeah,
it is weird.
It's a weird situation. And again, I agree with you. De Bruyne, the City players, it took them 20-25 minutes.
Yeah, it's same as Dortmund, their first game as well, 20 minutes.
Again, so in terms of Kane being out of touch, both sets of players, it will take them time to get in touch with the game, because it's something that I don't think these players will ever have experienced.
Yeah, absolutely. Like Sorry to interrupt. I just think the first 20-25 minutes is going to be telling. You saw Arsenal had a chance with Nketiah in the first 25 minutes. It was just a straight ball over the top, and then there was straight into a goal, which is something. It was over Laporte as well, which obviously he's a fantastic defender. You mentioned something there, obviously Lucas Moura. And of course, I referred to I think it was last season, I'm sure, when he literally blitzed us for pace. Yeah. That's something that they can definitely exploit. So let's talk about weaknesses and obviously what we can exploit from them and what they can exploit from us. I personally think Maguire's been fantastic for us, but his lack of pace against a very quick Spurs front line, we can't underestimate that. I think that's something that they can potentially... And Lindelof's not particularly quick either, really. Obviously, I would prefer Bailly there, but we're going to line up shortly. But that's something that we need to think about, Was. What are your thoughts on that? Because they've got blistering pace up front, and they've got Bergwijn, I'm assuming, is going to be on the bench to come on as well against tired legs.
Yeah, that's why we were like contemplating like who to play alongside Bruno or Pogba if Pogba starts. And we were saying Matic is too slow. So you got someone like Fred, who's a bit more tenacious and stuff, and he can keep up with the runs from midfield, or players like Son or Moura, or even Is Bergwijn back? I'm not sure, but those Luka and Straka, he can take care of those. So yeah, for that reason alone, I would put Fred in there. Threats, they've got a lot of threats, but it's hard to judge this game because of the match sharpness. We can't tell. Obviously when we see the game, we'll, like you said, the Man City, comparing it with that first 20, 30 minutes, it could be a similar pattern and what we've seen in the past with the German league. So can't really say much with that regarding that. Weaknesses wise, I think the centre back thing. I don't think Maguire's the weakness. Pace,
I'm not saying he's a weak link because I think he's been fantastic. What I'm saying is, if I'm Jose Mourinho, I'm gonna think Maguire's not quick, Lindelof is not quick. Let's use Kane as a sort of a focal point and get people running off him in behind Maguire, behind Lindelof. They've got pace. Obviously, try not to go near Wan-Bissaka too much because I thought he was absolutely fantastic when he played against Son early in the season. But if they go from Maguire to Luke Shaw, they can easily get Lucas Moura in behind just based on pace, not even a pure ability or breaking through. Just easy breakthrough there. Kish, what do you reckon? Where do you think Man United can exploit you as well?
Just sort of ending on that. But we're right, because you were saying about Kane. We had this chat at the beginning of the season where a lot of people said that this was probably one of his
hold-up has been fantastic
goals. But me and you agreed that this was probably one of his better seasons because he was getting more people to play in terms of build-up, because he added more to his game than just goals, which is when you've got players like Lucas Moura and Son, that's what you need to
the willing runners as well. The willing runners.
So he's good at that, but. In terms of our weaknesses or United,
what would you say how Man United can hurt you lot? Because obviously we've spoken about how you lot can potentially
defense, 100% defense. It's a bit weird because where we can hurt you in a way is where you can hurt us, but you've got more in terms of your artillery to do that, in my opinion. Because I think before this whole thing happened, we were leaking goals for fun. The one area where we didn't really have injuries was our centre halves. Alderweireld and Vertonghen were fully fit for majority of the time. And defensively, we've been shocking this season. We thought that with getting Mourinho, he's going to be able to, get us clean sheets and concede less. But I think we average 2 to 3 goals every game. So you're going to hurt us a lot defensively because Aurier can't defend. He can attack, can't defend.
Yeah.
On the other side, in fact, the best part was Tanganga. He was actually our best defender.
He's out injured. He's out injured from what Jose said today.
So it's Ben Davis. So if anything, you are going to hurt us defensively, and that is going to be my worry, like big time. Rashford, Martial, and I don't know if you play Greenwood.
I think James. I think it might be James.
But James is rapid.
James is very quick.
So I'll be honest. Every time you get us on the counter, my heart will be going.
Heavy. We're sensational on the break. I've got to say.
The Tongan literally has no legs. Alderweireld, you can tell his legs are gone. So I'll be honest, I'll be a nervous wreck when you get the ball.
We scored on the counter against you last season when Pogba played the ball to Rashford.
Exactly. So
Alderweireld couldn't catch up to him then, and that was the season ago.
2-3 seasons ago, we probably had the best defense in the league, in my opinion. 2-3 seasons ago.
No, I'd agree.
Whereas now
aging, isn't it? Too old.
I am worried. Yeah, big time.
Okay, so it's quite clear we all agree in terms of the counter attack. But let's talk about the midfield battle, because of course that is where most games are won and lost. Whilst we've spoken about this in the last couple of weeks in terms of Man United midfield, from what I've gained from the press conference, it seems that Pogba is going to be on the bench. For me personally, Ross, as you know, I would went for a midfield of Matic, Pogba, and Bruno. However, as the days have gone on, I just think it makes perfect sense to play Matic, Fred, and Bruno instead of Pogba. We've obviously spoken about the way Spurs are going to potentially set up. I would assume they're going to try to contain us and hit us on the break because, like I said, they have got the opportunity to actually cause us some problems there. And I just think Fred just gives us that defensive cover that we need. I think Bruno will be more than capable of doing, in terms of creativity on his own with the likes of Rashford, Martial, and potentially Greenwood or James. What are you thinking in terms of midfield? Because obviously, Kish will come up to you in a second. What do you reckon? So I actually understand what Ali's thought process is. A lot of people are saying, he's trying to make Pogba fight for his place. I don't know if it's so much Pogba fighting for his place, but I agree with Fred playing. So what are your thoughts, Vas?
Yeah. No, we were talking about this quite a bit, innit? I mean, it's very difficult to drop any one of the ones that were.
Yeah, they've been fantastic, aren't they?
When Pogba's come back now, so it's like, how can you drop them? But then again, it's a big game, and obviously you need your big players, innit? It's a tough one, but I don't know why I've just got this sneaky suspicion that if he talks to Alex Ferguson, he's bluffing here. I think he will start with Pogba. And if he does do that, that would be quite interesting. Personally, I would go with Fred, Pogba, and Bruno. That's what I'd start with.
Okay,
And then,
it's interesting.
yeah, goal up, you can bring on someone like Matic to just shield it a bit. That's my personal thing. What I'd go with, and I think he might be bluffing. I don't know why. I just think
That is. It is interesting to see if he is bluffing or not, because of course, we've seen that Pogba in training, he does look fit, he does look raring to go, but obviously I know Jose, but it's a difficult one to throw him into such an important game. Let's be honest here, if we actually get the win here somehow, I don't care the manner in which we get it. If we get the win, for me, top 4 is ours, because we shouldn't throw it away now. We've got all the bottom 10 teams in the league left, apart from Leicester. I know we got Sheffield United, but even from watching Sheffield United yesterday, they look well off the pace. Kish, let's come to you and talk. Obviously, we know Sissoko is definitely starting because Jose Mourinho has already told us that. I would have thought Dembele would have been starting, but of course he's received that injury from what I'm aware of. But what do you reckon Jose will go for?
To be honest, even if Ndombele was fit, he wouldn't have started, in my opinion, because I think Jose needs players with work ethic and players that can run the pitch. I think, again, going to the Pogba one, that's interesting. As a Tottenham fan, I don't know how many would agree, but I would prefer Pogba starting because, if anything, I think that having a three of Fernandes, Pogba,
very attacking, isn't it?
Leaves you open because Pogba, although he's got all these attacking qualities, defensively it's been proven in the past he's not a defensive midfielder. Yeah, so
France, he can't do it.
But I'm saying at United, if you look at his entire United career defensively, he's been caught out many times. So in terms of, I would worry a lot more if you had Fred, McTominay, and Fernandes.
Yeah, I think Fred and McTominay. I know I mentioned Matic earlier, but honestly, God, McTominay, he ran 5K.
Exactly. I would be a lot more worried with that, and then having Pogba come from the bench because he could do that attacking threat. But in terms of us, I think for me, I think this is a typical Mourinho game. I reckon he'll get Sissoko to man-mark Fernandes for the whole game, in my opinion. Because before Fernandes came in your team, whether you agree or not, you were struggling.
Yeah, absolutely. Not anyone's going to disagree with that.
So I think Mourinho will look at that and say the main person in your team with that creativity is Fernandes. You take him out of the game, and I'm not saying that we'd win the game.
Sorry to interrupt. There's some background noises on your thing, I think.
It's mum and Nala. What? I can't do anything. Talking. Go on, carry on.
Yeah. So I think that if you take Fernandes out of this game, then although your front three is still top class with Martial, Rashford, and either James or Greenwood, but in my opinion, I would be very, very confident if in Sissoko man marking Fernandes. Because I think Sissoko is very, very good at that and equipped. He plays for France in that position as well, where he's done a very, very good job in the past. And I think Sissoko is probably one of our most improved players. So I would be confident if I see that Mourinho, in the first 10, 20 minutes, if I see Sissoko marking Fernandes, I think that's where the game
but you've said that, right? Okay, and I see what you're coming from and see what you're saying. But you've got to remember, if we're 0-0 right at half time, for me personally, we should win the game. Because if Pogba doesn't start, he's going to come on second half. Then what are you going to do?
But that's what I mean. So if Pogba then comes on second half, I won't mind that because then we can bring on our players with pace on the counter as well. And that would make it an open game.
It would make an open game, but I just think Pogba against tight legs with his ability to find the ball in behind, and Daniel James coming on as well. It's gonna be interesting.
I'll be honest. The biggest worry that I have for us in this game is not even anything to do with the opposition. It's injuries, because watching the Arsenal game yesterday with 2 players getting injured in 20 minutes, we've got 2 or 3 players that have come back from serious injuries. And
it's true.
That is a worry for me. That what happens within 15, 20 minutes? Because with Arsenal, let's be honest, before that first injury, for the first 15, 20 minutes, they were playing well. They were.
Yeah, they look decent.
And then, of course, with Luis coming in, that ruined it for them completely. So what I'm worried about is if we have it only takes a couple of, if the players don't have the training beforehand or something like that, I'm more worried about that will create issues for us.
All right, let's talk the lineups. Obviously, we've done the midfield. I'm just going to rattle the defense off us. I'm assuming it's going to be the same as mine. So I'm obviously going to go to Hayden in there, Wan-Bissaka. I think he's going to go for Maguire, Lindelof, although I would personally go for Bailly. I would personally go for Bailly. I don't think he's going to do that.
He's a pace.
Yeah, exactly, for pace, and of course on the break, like we mentioned. Then of course Luke Shaw at the back. Obviously your midfield three was Fred, Bruno, and Pogba. Because you think he's bluffing. I'm gonna go for. I've changed it so many times, but no, I'm actually gonna change it one more time. I'm gonna go for McTominay, Fred, because I think they were phenomenal against Man City in our last game, and they have been in every big game that they've played together. And obviously Bruno and Cam. And in the front three, I think it picks itself. No, we've not really spoken much about Marcus Rashford, but I think he's going to be. If Aurier is playing, he might get him sent off, to be quite frank, so I won't be surprised. So I'm going to go Rashford, Martial, and up front alongside them, I'm probably going to go for Dan James, although he would be a fantastic substitute off the bench. You know, I'm not going to lie. I think Lingard might be in for a shot. You know, I'm not going to lie. I don't think he's going to play, but I think just his energy, as in terms of fitness, where a lot of people aren't going to be fit. There's no way Lingard's not going to be fit. This kid runs for days. So it might just potentially help us on the press early on.
What do you think, Ozzy? If you put Dan James, you put a really quick, powerful team, kill the game off in the first few minutes, get that early goal, Mourinho will have an answer, and then do what you want. I mean, you can change it and stuff. Because judging by yesterday's game, Man City and Arsenal, like you said, Man City were off the
pace into the game, didn't they?
Yeah, but my personal opinion is that United are a lot fitter. So we killed that game off the first 20 minutes, do the opposite, and then do what you want after that.
How can you say that United are a lot fitter? How does that work?
He's just basing it on age. I mean, we have got a very young team in us, so I would imagine we're quite fit, but you can't say we're fitter than them. I don't think
we're fitter. I think we're fitter than.
You can't. How though? Based on what though? There's no evidence backing that up. It's not like we played any games in the last few months.
They just look a lot fitter.
That doesn't mean anything, don't it? That's what I mean. That's just you
but
can't.
No, we'd have to see tomorrow.
Look good in training though. Look at them. They look fantastic in training. They're absolute dog shit. Okay, so that's fair enough. Obviously, we might be fitter. We'll have to wait and see. Kish, obviously, we know your midfield, but what would you do for your defence and your strike?
Yeah, I think defence of Lloris is back fit.
Thank God. Absolute shocking player.
See, Dyer would have started in centre half.
Oh, God, he's not.
But it's going to be Alderweireld, Vertonghen, Davis, and Aurier will be at right back.
What? Davies, as in Ben Davies, isn't it?
Yeah, Ben Davies.
What about Sanchez? Where's he?
Because I would love him to start, but I just feel like for this game he will go with experience because that's what he's known to do in the past, Mourinho. So I feel like he will. I mean, I don't really want Vertonghen to start, but I feel like he will go for him. I think this will kind of be his chance to impress him to get another contract. But we shall see.
Rashford against that defence in terms of pace abuse alone.
That's the problem. Again,
if you lot play a high line, you are getting. Whilst might be right, we might kill you in the first 30 minutes if you play.
I think the first 20 minutes game over, mate. If we get that goal.
Obviously whoever scores first, in my opinion, are going to get the result. I'm not going to lie, because I think then you can manage the game. Obviously, we know how Jose is like the ultimate of killer of games. Whoever scores the first goal for me has won this game. I can't see the team come back.
This game's, in my opinion, I think, as funny as it sounds, it will be all on Kane because Mourinho loops the ball long. That's how we will play to sort of get us on the counter, and it depends on how well you defend Kane and how good.
Maguire knows this game from England, isn't it? Maguire knows.
Kane's not done anything. Okay, let's come. I was about to say Kane's not done much against right now, but obviously we'll probably bag a hat trick tomorrow. Let's go to midfield because actually I don't think you finished it. Barless, Sissoko, I think. Who else would you go?
Sissoko, Winks, I think will play because he's trusted Winks and Sissoko.
Yeah, he's done alright to be fair to him.
Winks has done a really good job. He's a bit like Scott Parker was for us.
I won't go that far, but it's alright.
He's a good enough player, and I do think Lo Celso will play because
he's injured. Lo Celso's injured, I think.
Oh, is Lo Celso?
I heard he's injured. I might be completely wrong.
I'm aware that Dale Ali's out for a game because
I heard Lo Celso's injured as well. Obviously, I'm just basing this off what expressions he said. Sorry, if you don't know if you know that is or not. He said Lo Celso's injured today.
Lo Celso would be fine. But again, either way, if he doesn't play, then of course we'll have to find an alternative.
Lamella's going to play then, realistically.
Lamella will play, but
he did score in it the other day against Norwich.
I do think it will be Harry Kane. I think Harry Kane, Son. I just don't think he'll put on Lucas Moura. I think he'll play two defensive.
Why does he not rate Moura? I don't understand.
He does rate Moura because he did play him a lot of the games, but I think he
guy's underappreciated, man.
Yeah, I think.
I just don't think he will attack. that much. That's just
What if you put Sissoko on the right wing? Have you not got another option in the centre mid to replace him? Or?
No, because then the problem is Dyer's out, Ndombele is injured, and we've got Fernandes on loan from Sporting Lisbon.
Oh,
so I don't know if you'll play him.
I don't know if he's fit either, to be fair, against him. Fernandes. He's been injured for a while, hasn't he?
I don't know if you'll play him. But it will be interesting. But I think we do need that creativity in midfield.
I've just listened to your team. That I can't. There's no one who's going to get the ball to Kane and Son in your team.
That's what I think. I think Lo Celso for me needs to be fit.
I hope with all due respect, just for this game, hope he's not fit because he's a good player.
He was the one.
Yeah, he was killing it. He was filling the Eriksen's sort of void, so to speak.
Because Lamella turns up 1 in 10. And when he turns up, he's world class. But then the other 9 games,
what should be tomorrow? Let's talk about the final bit. Obviously, let's have the final word. Right, Was, where do you think, or who do you think is going to be the most important person for Man United to get us over the line? What do you reckon?
It's going to be Bruno Fernandes for me, and Bruno Fernandes and Rashford I'll pick too. I think because they're going to be key. They're going to be key for counter attacks and obviously controlling the game from midfield for Bruno. His passes in behind and stuff like that to Martial, and that's just going to be mental. And that 8 back 4, oof.
We better. I would just to cut you off there. I can't remember if it was against Spurs last time that we played them and they beat us, and Vertonghen, I think it was Alderweireld, fully pocketed Martial. Like, I thought we were going to do him for pay, but Alderweireld's intelligence was just too much on that day. So I don't want to get too carried away, but hoping if we get the ball in behind, then obviously we can cause them problems. Kish, what do you reckon? I think it's a bit obvious. I think it's quite obvious for both teams. Who do you think the key players are going to be in this game?
I think for me, the main player will actually be Son, because I think all the attention will be on Kane. And
Wan-Bissaka did pocket him last game, though.
He did. However, I do feel that if Kane gets close enough to the defenders and we have the counter, I do feel like Son will have a lot of space, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how you mark Son this time, because if you mark him well, then in my opinion, you will literally stifle our attack. But I think a lot of the game has to do with the hold-up play of Kane and Son, because we will get chances in this game.
Yeah,
but I just think that we're going to have to be clinical, and I do feel that with Son, he does have that ability where you give him a chance more times than not, he will score. So that will be interesting for us, definitely.
Interesting. I don't think anyone would disagree with that, to be honest. Obviously, you mentioned, potentially if Lo Celso's not out, that is not fit. Sorry, that's going to be a massive bonus for us, because I don't think you've got much creativity in that middle of the park. Obviously, Dele Alli is suspended. Regarding our key players, I would probably have to agree with Was. I think it's going to be Rashford, to be honest with you. I just think he's going to be on a massive high. Of course, we've not mentioned what he's done this week. Unbelievable achievement on a personal level.
Fantastic.
Huge respect to him. He just seems like he's on cloud 9 at the moment. And from the clips I've seen on him at West Brom, he was destroying the defense, absolutely destroying them. Like, he was sitting down 3-4 defenders, and he's going to be eager to get that 20 goal. Obviously, Marcus, I think he's on 14 in the league. Exactly. We haven't even mentioned, obviously, Martial's personal, sort of agenda with Mourinho, and obviously Pogba off the bench. They've got, we've seen the last dance. Michael Jordan had that little glint. Don't give these guys extra fire, and Jose Mourinho is definitely going to allow some of our players to have that, because obviously we know the sort of, the sort of backlash of what's happened when he left. But yeah, that side for me personally. Let's finish on the score predictions. Obviously, Was, I don't need to ask you, because you told me in the first 30 seconds that it's going to be 3-1 to United. Kish, what do you reckon?
3-1 Tottenham.
Oh, he's gone for
Tottenham win. I like that.
Okay, interesting. I've actually come for a draw, which completely contradicts everything I said about 30 seconds ago when I said that whoever scores is probably going to win the game. Now, but on a level, right, I do think whoever does score the game scores first, and then they play on the counter. Of course, they should win the game, realistically speaking, given the ability that both teams have got on the break in terms of pace. But I've just got a feeling it's going to be a really shit game, very cagey. Quality is going to be lacking because it's first game back. And I'm going to go for 1-1 draw.
Can we just say that how good it is that we're talking about football again?
I know.
It's happening. Like, we're talking about
it's been a long time.
thought we'd be
We've not
talking
discussed
about
this.
the
The
Premier
amount
League
of
stuff.
subs. We've got a decent bench there, you
Oh
know.
yeah, we have got a good bench.
So
to be
we've
We've
fair.
got a lot
been-
better bench than us. Yeah,
You haven't got, but you've got Parrot on the bench and Skip in it.
Yeah,
so.
Parrot. Yeah, obviously Parrot will win the game for us. Last
If
10
Parrot scores, the amount of abuse I've been giving this kid, bless him. But
If Parrot scores, I am going to rinse the group
No,
chat
exactly, but
with
just-
Parrot picks for the entire week. Not a day, the entire week.
well, don't get too carried away. You'll probably lose next week midweek. But we'll see. Then let's get to that flipping stage. Anyways, I'm going for 1-1. Watts has gone 3-1 Man United. Kish has gone 2-1. Anyways, that has been your preview. Like I said at the start of the video, check out everyone's socials in the description. Show them love. Drop a like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Apart from that, it's been your boy Smine. Call United! Come on!